U.S. Senator from South Carolina.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Do I see some South Carolinians in the house? All right. Eddie, how you doing, buddy? And the Citadel Cadets, didn't they do a good job this morning? How many of you, like me, believe in the future of America? Because I believe in the future of America, my opportunity agenda focuses on the American people and not the federal government. By limiting the government, we empower the people. We don't need the big government and Obamacare choosing our doctors, do we? We don't need Obamacare forcing pizza places to tell us how many calories are on our pizza. Do we really want to know? I'm not sure about you, but I don't even want to know how many calories are on my pizza. When I eat my Haagen-Dazs ice cream, I want to enjoy those 1,292 calories and all 100 grams of fat in one sitting. And some of y'all don't want Obamacare to increase the taxes on the tanning beds. Now, please note I said some of y'all. I don't really care about that tax. Just joking. Just joking. Just joking. You got to have some fun when you're at CPAC, right? America is about Americans and self-determination. We are not about the government. The greatest assets we have cannot be found here in Washington, D.C. Our greatest assets are not in Washington, D.C., except when CPAC is in town. They are found in the thoughts and in the ideas of people in places like Greenville or Aiken, Orangeburg, and Charleston. They are not in the executive orders of this president. Not in his executive orders do we find the greatness of America. We find them instead in the wisdom of our founding fathers and on the pages of our Constitution. A smaller, less intrusive government means more resources for the creation of the next generation of entrepreneurs. The success of our economy is seen in the size of our ideas, not in the size of our tax bills. We need to cut our taxes, not raise them like President Obama wants to. Greatness is created in relationships when people pool their resources together and start small businesses every place in this nation. In their garages, at coffee shops, and at their kitchen table. I started my small business in a small apartment with some friends. Our genius emerges from our classrooms, from our libraries, and even from our Chick-fil-A's. I call them freedom fries. Those little waffle fries, I like to know them as freedom fries because that's where I met my mentor, in a Chick-fil-A. A guy named John Moniz, who taught me the power of thinking. As some of you have heard from South Carolina, I was a poor kid growing up in a single-parent household. I was losing myself. I had lost my way. I had flunked out of high school as a freshman. I failed world geography, civics. Now think about that. A United States Senator who failed civics. I used to think I was the only one, and then I became a member of the Senate. I realized there might be a few more who didn't pass civics either. And then I failed Spanish and English. Now, when you fail Spanish and English, they don't call you bilingual. No, they call you ignorant because you can't speak in any language. And that's where I found myself. And that's why I give so much credit to John Moniz, that Chick-fil-A operator, because he came along at the right time. You see, in America today, the John Monizes of our world who changes the very path of young kids like me are sitting in audiences like this. You're making the difference. And John Moniz taught me that you could think your way out of poverty. That Citadel graduate taught me that if you really want to escape poverty, it comes through the power of education. And he taught me that. And that's one of the reasons why my opportunity agenda understands the necessity of a good education. But it believes that kids, not unions, should be the focus of our public education. That parents and not bureaucrats in Washington should decide the path of their child's education. They should be free to choose. They should be free to choose homeschooling, public schools, charter schools, parochial schools. It should be the parents' choice. Because when the parents have the choice, the kids have a chance. I think of one story from Greenville, South Carolina, a lovely young lady named Rachel Lewis, born with Down syndrome. Optimistic, energetic, focused, smart little girl. Her parents fought tooth and nail for a year to keep her in mainstream classes. And unfortunately, after a year, she was able to win, keeping her little girl in mainstream classes. But then she realized that the very teachers, the very system that she had to fight with would now be in charge of educating her kids. And she decided, I can't do that. So she found a little private school called Hidden Treasure in Greenville, South Carolina. And that young lady went through school and earned her high school diploma. And today, she doesn't have one job, she has 2 jobs. We need to set free all the potential in the kids in our country through school choice. Finally, there are 4 million jobs vacant today in America. 4 million jobs unfilled. We need to prepare our adult learners to fill those jobs. We need to focus our attention on 2 facts. Number 1, every child doesn't want to go to college. Some kids can earn while they learn. We should have a dual track, one for college and one for the skills necessary to fill the 4 million vacancies we have today in America. My opportunity agenda does that. Let me close by saying, as we unveil more about my opportunity agenda, I believe the best is yet to come. We will remain focused on the American people. God has already blessed our country. I believe it's our responsibility to make sure that that blessing continues. Now, if this was a church, I would take up an offering and ask you to stand for the closing. But y'all have already made the offering. You've done so with your time. You've done it by getting involved in campaigns. You are the backbone of the conservative movement, and men and women like myself, Kelly Ayotte, Paul Ryan, stand on your shoulders. God has blessed us because we have you. God bless you.